How did Todd and Julie Chrisley avoid detection for fraud while displaying their wealth on reality TV? When Chrisley Knows Best and its ensemble first appeared on television in 2014, reality television was elevated to a whole new level. Although it may not seem like the most entertaining of shows to watch a wealthy real estate tycoon and his family live a lavish lifestyle, Todd and Julie Chrisley's outrageous personalities, along with those of their children Chase, Savannah, and Grayson, helped to draw viewers in and make the show a hit. Little did the audience know at the time that the family was not as wealthy as they gave the impression that they were. Todd and his company had already filed for bankruptcy before he was offered the reality TV role. The money that had been saved throughout the years was supporting the family, but they gave the impression that Todd was a multimillionaire who could live a life of luxury as he pleased, leading viewers to believe as well. Given the Chrisleys' residences, their vehicles, and the money they frequently spent on designer clothing and opulent accessories, there was little reason to think otherwise. There was more deceit going on behind the scenes than anyone could have imagined. Along with scamming banks of millions of dollars through loans they couldn't pay back, Todd and Julie failed to claim their revenues from Chrisley Knows Best and failed to file taxes. However, none of the family members considered stopping the reality program in the midst of all of this criminal conduct. Instead, they believed that acting normally would be the wisest course of action. Todd and Julie probably believed they were going to get away with fraud forever because they had gotten away with it for so long. Till they were, that is. Fans believe they know why Todd and Julie got away with fraud for so long while parading their wealth on TV, despite the fact that they were astonished by the accusations made against the Southern parents. Some viewers questioned why it took so long to file charges against the family patriarch and matriarch given that the Chrisleys boasted about their wealth for nearly 10 years on television. However, it can take some time to put together a strong case against someone for fraud, a statement that is particularly accurate in the context of federal investigations. For 10 years, the feds had been keeping tabs on them and all of their financial transactions with the assistance of a disgruntled business partner. One Reddit user explained, Mark Braddock, who assisted the Chrisleys in their previous atrocities. The user continued by saying that loan applications for millions of dollars, which Todd and Julie stated they had the money to repay, are probably what sent up a red signal in the first place. However, they simultaneously asserted bankruptcy in documents submitted to the IRS. I presume there was a meeting of the minds between the feds and the IRS in a room somewhere. Documents were cross-checked, and presto, it finally paid off after 10 years under the investigators' scrutiny. They were caught in the act. Added by another user, it takes time to develop a case. The federal government and the IRS often don't file a case unless they are pretty confident of winning because it is expensive to prosecute. The Chrisleys were transferring money around while the investigation was going on, which may have made it first challenging to trace the money trail. But eventually, it was going to be detected because of the reported $1 million in moving expenses each month. A third Reddit member added, they transferred the reality show money into the 7 Degrees Celsius's production account, placed it in Nanny Faye's name, and pulled their identities off of it. As a result, it required time because the investigation needed to be absolutely reliable, and a money trail needed to be found. Todd and Julie believed they were succeeding in their life-changing strategy the entire time. Since Todd and Julie's accusations were made public, the Chrisleys have been plagued by legal issues, with new cases constantly popping up. There was no reason to think that anything sinister was going on behind the scenes of Chrisley Knows Best because they were not known to the general public. Perhaps if more details about the litigation were known, the scam wouldn't have been kept a secret for as long as it was. In 2009, a legal dispute involving Todd and FH Partners, LLC was resolved. Todd and the Chrisley Family Trust were mandated to make millions of dollars in reparations to FH Partners, LLC in the mutual release and settlement agreement that was leaked. Little was ever known about this litigation because the agreement forbade the distribution of the specifics of the settlement. Furthermore, the 2012 bankruptcy litigation is still open for business today. According to Todd, the lawsuit was resolved, and the family started over after that. However, this is untrue. But because USA Networks didn't dig into the situation, it appears that they took Todd's word for it and broadcast a phony family. Smaller cases might have also existed and vanished on their own. Some fans of the show think the outcome was caused by the family's influence as a result of their notoriety. There have been numerous lawsuits filed over the years, but once they gained some notoriety, they would tarnish the vendor's reputation and their minions would believe it, which would harm business even more, according to a Reddit user. The Chrisleys might have been taken off the air far sooner if more of these cases had been made public. The Chrisleys worked arduously behind the scenes to maintain their scheme for 10 years of reality television, without proper fact-checking and cases being ignored. A narcissistic personality disorder causes a person to have unreasonably elevated opinion of their own importance. Many followers think this perfectly sums up Todd. Additionally, they think it was ultimately to blame for the Chrisley's continued criminal activity. Viewers have inferred that Todd has, at the very least, narcissistic characteristics. It should be understood, though, that this is only speculation, and not a medical professional's personal diagnosis after treating Todd. One Reddit member wrote, "I never cease to be astounded at what a narcissist would do to cover up their lies. They seem to create their own reality. I'm curious as to what it will take for him to escape his egotistical cocoon." Another commenter said, "I think character defects had a significant influence in how all this played out. I've been racking my brain over how foolish this entire situation was." Although Todd never admitted wrongdoing,